Good morning, everyone. My name is Bhumika, and welcome to the another podcast session at Indo European. Today, we have Auguste, who is Chief Coordinator at Vilnius Tech University. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
So, before we start, could you quickly tell us and our audience what Vilnius Tech is and why its names keep coming up in the EdTech education about Europe?
Yes, of course. So Vilnius Tech is one of the biggest research universities in our country. We have a strong basis on engineering and technologies programs. We are also good in business, and we have strong emphasis on business, as well as arts and architecture programs. So we have high quality degrees in undergraduate and graduate study programs, and as well PhD study programs are offered here. We have exchange and placement programs in more than 400 partner institutions. So I would say Vilnius Tech is a big research, institution where all the engineers are becoming and business leaderships and so on.
That's great. Since how long is the Vilnius Tech accepting applications from international students?
I'm not sure about the exact date, but it's for sure going for like 20 years maybe or more, maybe 25. I'm not sure, but it's a long time, I would say.
25 years is a long
Yes, and
time.
it's increasing each year. So each year we have more and more students. So it's really good, and we have at the moment we have around 90 countries. Students coming from 90 countries. So it's really good for us, for our university. We are growing big.
That's great. So, since there are hundreds of universities in Europe, what makes Vilnius Tech apart from these universities in terms of the student experience?
So I would say the tuition fees are the first thing that comes to mind because it's a bit cheaper to study in Lithuania than compared to Germany or Netherlands, for example. And the living expenses are not that high. For example, you can go to the grocery store and buy some, important things that you have in your diet, like rice, for example, if I can say, it's really cheap. You can buy it for like under €1, So living expenses, I would say, it's very, very safe in Lithuania. We have very low crime rate. So people can go in the streets during the night and nothing will happen to them. Yeah, so I would say this would be the main thing that we are, different from other countries. We also have a lot of nature in Lithuania. It's very peaceful. It's very chill. People are really very friendly. You do not need to learn Lithuanian language if you do not want to. So it means that you can fully go on with English language in Lithuania because all of our youth people, younger people, we are all speaking English. All the service can be provided in English language as well. Just maybe elder people are not talking in English that much, but still you can freely move on with English and feel free. But of course, if you want, you can join Lithuanian classes for free and learn some new words. Yeah, so I think that this makes us different from other European countries.
That's great. What about faculty and infrastructure?
Oh, yes. So we have 11 faculties at the moment. Last year, one additional faculty joined us, which is Maritime Academy. But we have lots of faculties, mainly based on research, engineering, IT programs. So in Bachelor, for example, we offer 22 Bachelor programs. They are all for 4 years. And we also have 25 or 22, I'm not sure right now, master degree programs. So also in those faculties, and there are also business faculties, creative industries, but mainly they are the electronics, mechanics, civil engineering, all the engineering. So yeah, the faculties are really, really good. We have lots of students in each faculty. One of the most popular program right now, I would say maybe artificial intelligence systems in our electronics faculty. So it's really high right now on demand. So yeah, and also fundamental sciences are on peak. So our faculties are doing great.
That's really great to know. So, Auguste, could you tell me for an Indian student, if he's comparing Vilnius Tech to some mid-tier universities in UK or Germany, what's your honest case on choosing Vilnius?
So I will repeat again all the previous things that I've said. We have less people, maybe in Lithuania, so it's easier to move on. We have a lot of nature compared to Germany. They don't have it like that, like us. So yeah, all the things that I've mentioned before, the tuition fees, living expenses, it's much more cheaper, and our people are really friendly. So yeah, in Germany they are too, I guess. But I'm just talking about Lithuania, so I would say these are the main points.
Yeah, great. So, Auguste, how well connected is the Vilnius University to the EdTech ecosystem there? So, do the student really get internships, projects, recruitments?
Yes, so good question actually about the internships. It's very important, I would say. In our bachelor programs, internships are included for all the students. So it means that during their studies, they get the internship opportunity at some organization. So it means that there are people which help them to choose the organization where they want to do their internship. And it's a good thing because after they finish their internship, that organization can actually hire them after the studies, for example. So it's even better for the student. And so we have a lot of international organizations in Lithuania which are working with international people. Also, everything is in English language, so it's really, really convenient. And in our university, we have a big career center which provides students with more knowledge and more information about the internships, where to choose, what to choose from. We also have a big career day that's happening in our university each April each year. So there are around 300, 400 maybe institutions coming to our university, giving offers for the internships, giving offers for jobs. So all of those organizations are international ones. So it means that all the experts come in one place. We can go around through different booths, talk with them, maybe exchange some contacts, and then hopefully in the future they could, hire some new students after our graduation in our university. And then, yeah, so coming back to the internship part, it's also included in the study program, and you also need to make an internship report after. So you will need to prove that you have some knowledge about what you did in the organization, and then defend your internship report, and then move on with your career.
Could you name few companies who actively recruit Vilnius Tech graduates?
Oh, there are lots of institutions actually. For example, Teltonica is a big company at the moment. They have lots of engineering people and IT sector people working in there. And I know that some of our students are also working in there. Also, we have some banks that are open to new people, especially international people, because we have banks from different European countries in our country, Lithuania, and in Vilnius city. So yeah, I would say these Teltonica is the biggest one, but we also have a lot of startups in Lithuania. Each year it's growing and growing. Tech industry is really high right now in Lithuania, so there are plenty of opportunities. And those organizations and institutions are changing each year. One is growing bigger, another, is expanding somewhere else. So it's hard to tell all those organizations, but there are lots of them.
That's great. Um, so let's talk money now, because this is a real question which every student and parents wants to know. So what scholarships are genuinely available to international students and how competitive they are?
Mm. Yes, we have scholarship applications each year. So it opens in each January, and the deadline is until April each year, the same. So we offer partial or full scholarships. If we would talk about the admission requirements for the scholarship, so for partial scholarship, students must have not less than 70% CGPA. We also require English proficiency tests. We also require references, motivational letter. There is also an interview which is conducted to show their motivation for the scholarship. For full scholarship, we also require the same. It's just that the CGPA should be not less than 80 if they want to get full scholarship. Yeah, so each year the number is different of students that get the scholarship. So, but I would say in bachelor's and master's, each year we award overall maybe like 30, 50 people in that range. It's quite competitive, I would say. There are lots of good students applying for the scholarship. So, you know, if you're good, if you feel like you're good, you have good CGPA, so why not? I would encourage all the students to apply for the scholarship. It's better for them because it takes, all the money covers the tuition fee for all study years if they don't have any study gaps. So, for example, in bachelor's, you can get 4 years of scholarship. Just, they cover all the tuition fee for 4 years. But if they have any debts, then scholarship could be, canceled. In master's, it's the same. But the scholarship does not cover the living expenses. But for the student, living expenses in Lithuania, in Vilnius especially, would be around €550 per month. So this includes accommodation costs. So dormitory can be from 140 till €240 per month. But this includes all other payments like electricity, heating, water, internet. So everything is included. Also depends on the student's diet, but with the groceries, you can also not spend a lot of money, per month. If you're alone, I think you can easily go with like €50, but it depends on what a student wants to eat, So it's hard to tell about the groceries maybe, but overall, €550 for living expenses per month is enough because our buses, our public transport buses or trains are subsidized by the government. So we have 80% discounts for the students. So they can, for example, buy a ticket for a month for €13 to travel by buses all around Vilnius, and you don't need to buy anything else. So it's really, really good for the students. I think 80% discount. I'm jealous.
It's really cheap as well.
Yeah.
If you compare it with the Indian transport, it's almost the same. So I don't feel any difference. Yes, it is. Exactly. And how soon should a student apply for a scholarship? If they're really aiming at, let's suppose, 50% or 100% scholarship, what is the right time?
So the right time is in between the deadline. We open the application in January each year, and so it means until April you can apply. So each year it's April 20th. Now it's 19th, so it's one day left. It's kind of, late, but there is no actually, one particular day or week when you should apply. It's just important to be on time, to be until the deadline. You apply and then you just wait for the evaluation. You wait for the interview link and everything. So until April 20th each year, just apply anytime. You can still edit your application and add any more documents if you have any extracurricular activities. Also a good thing. We give some extra points. So I would say just be on time until the deadline and everything would be all right.
Great. So does extracurricular activities gives you an extra edge on the scholarships that you offer?
Sure, yes. If you as a student have any Olympiads or championships, before you have some certificates from some kind of courses, or stuff like that. For example, some people take like Python, programming language courses, AI or something like that. So it really pushes the application. We give extra points for those students that have any extracurricular activity. So it's really a good thing to, when we calculate the final score for the scholarship, it really adds up. So you can feel the difference. So I would encourage everyone who has any extracurricular activities, in their academic background or just in sports. It doesn't matter. If it's not academic, it can be sports, maybe some cricket championship or something like that. So you can, of course, provide anything and we will give you extra points.
That's great. What is the process of applying to a scholarship? Is it applied with the application or is there a separate process for it?
There's no actually separate process. It's the same as applying for the study program. So it happens in the same study application program, which is called apply.vilniustech.lt. So you can choose the program and then add the scholarship the same as you are choosing the study program to which you want to apply. So you just need to create a profile, provide all your documents, just basically what's needed. You will see what the system asks for you. So you can choose, for example, 5 different study programs, and the fifth option can be a scholarship. It doesn't matter in which place you put scholarship. If you put it in your application, you submit it, it's enough. It doesn't have to be in the first place. It doesn't have to be in the second place or last place. It doesn't matter. It will see that you have applied. So we will move on with that. But it's important to add it and submit it. If the application will be a draft, then we will not consider it. If it will be submitted after April 20th, we will not evaluate it as well because, we have deadlines, so it's important.
That's great to know. So one day to go for all the students who are actually aiming to apply to Vilnius Tech with scholarships. I think today is the right time. You should go ahead, open your laptop and start the application with the scholarships.
Yes, sure. You have some time until tomorrow, until Monday, so for sure, do it. If you feel like you could get a scholarship, feel free. We will check out your account.
So even without the scholarship, how affordable is studying in Lithuania? Can you give us some real numbers on the tuition fees and living expenses?
Yes, sure. So I think it's very affordable to study in Vilnius, especially in Vilnius Tech. Our bachelor study programs tuition fees are set from 4,000 to 6,000. It depends on the study program. Engineering can be a bit more expensive, and business programs, for example, can be less expensive, but it's not a big difference. It can be like €500 difference, so it's not a big deal. In master study programs, the tuition fees are a bit higher, so it can be from 5,000 to 7,000 euros per year. The tuition fee is yearly, so yeah, this is important to mention as well. And we also have PhD programs, but the tuition fees are a bit different. It starts from 12,000. So, but admission to PhD, it's a different kind of admission. We have a second department for that. But if talking about the tuition fees, so these are the PhD tuition fees. And for the living expenses, as I mentioned before, student needs only €550 per month. So the accommodation is included, everything is included, electricity, heating, but just that the student needs to be cooking himself. We don't provide food, so you just buy groceries and then you can use the dormitory's kitchen to cook your food. You also don't need to bring any bed sheets or beddings to the accommodation. Everything is provided in there. There are staff that comes every week to clean, the bed sheets and everything. So the students just need to bring their laptop and that's it, start studying. So yeah, the living expenses would be €550 per month.
Oh, that is really, really affordable.
Yeah, and the tuition fees are also not that high, I would say, compared to other European countries. And even though our tuition fees are less than, for example, in Netherlands or Germany, we still give internationally recognized degrees. So we are, following all the European standards still as all the European countries, and our tuition fee stays still lower than some other countries. So I think it's a really good benefit for us.
Yeah, actually, even I am amazed to, know that a bachelor's degree tuition fee for an Indian student ranges from 4 lakhs to 6 lakhs a year, which is very, very affordable as compared to any other countries, any other European countries or English countries' fees are really high. Even master's degree is ranging from 5 lakhs to 6 lakhs, as you mentioned.
Yes, exactly.
That is really, really affordable for all the students, or all the Indian students who are actually aiming for an international degree with exactly the same standards that you'd get in any other European country. So that is quite an informative and actually an amazing thing to know about Vilnius Tech.
Yes, and I would like to add one more thing about our study environment, how it goes. So it's also a really good thing that we don't have only theory in the study programs. The lectures are happening also in laboratories and we have lots of practical work in there. So it's really, really interesting for the student, to feel any kind of materials if you're working in some, for example, environmental engineering with some sustainable things, So it's really important that we don't only provide theory, but also practical work and advices. So I hope that this will help students want to apply more, even more.
Definitely. Augusta, could you walk me through the application process, the timelines, the documentations required, if any English language test is required, and what are the common mistakes that a student makes while applying to Vilnius?
Sure. So we have our application system, which is applied at vilniustech.lt. I think it's a very easy way to apply. Everything goes in one system because we don't, accept any email admission documents, anything through email. So everything goes in one system. It's very convenient for the students and for us as well. So you only need to create a profile in applied.vilniustech.lt, provide your information, create your profile. You will provide all your academic documents, what you have from your previous studies. For example, if you graduated from school, so you provide diploma and transcript with grades and subjects. If you've graduated from university, then you also provide diploma and transcript. For the English tests, yes, we require level B2. So you can provide Duolingo or IELTS, TOEFL. We have a list of accepted English proficiency tests, but these are the most common ones. But of course, I know that Indian students are studying in English a lot here. So if you have medium of instructions, it's also accepted. It's not a problem. We also require motivational letter for the chosen study program or for the scholarship as well. We also require references, and it should be academic ones. We don't accept references from coworkers, friends, or relatives, so it should be from the professors. There is an interview as well that we send. So once you create a profile, you will press submit. It's important to press submit because if the student will not press submit, then we will not see his application that he wants to apply. So once he applies, the invoice generates for the application fee. Once he pays that, we send the interview. The student has 5 days to record an interview. After that, we check it. If it's needed, we check it with the faculty. If it's a master's degree, then we get the answer from them. We check the documents. If everything is in the right order, we send the letter of acceptance. They get the tuition fee invoice. Once they pay that, we issue mediation letter number, and then we apply for a Tier B card in some chosen VFS center. So the application looks like that most of the time. And also the common mistakes that students make. So as I mentioned, sometimes they do not press submit, and the application leaves us a draft, so we cannot then see if they really want to apply or they just started and then change their mind. So I would say this is the most common one. Sometimes students cannot see the messages that we are sending them. So they should check the application which they created, because sometimes we write them feedback if we require some more documents. So it's important to check it from time to time. So I would say these are the most common mistakes. Of course, sometimes students forget to provide any kind of documents, but the system reminds them to do it. So this is not a big mistake, but only these right now come to my mind.
That's great. Thank you so much for letting us know, so that all the students who are, just willing to apply to Vilnius, please avoid these mistakes. So, Augusta, are the students allowed to work part-time during their studies?
Sure, yes, students are allowed to work part-time. Actually, bachelor's students can work for 20 hours per week. So it's up to them what they want to work, but it's important that their work does not affect the studies. They should still go to the lectures, because lectures in bachelor programs happen from the morning until afternoon. But for example, in master's degree, so students can work actually full time, because lectures start from 6 p.m. So it means that the whole day you can work in some kind of organization, and then only from the evening start your lectures. So it's really, really convenient if a student has some kind of career goals and he or she wants to pursue it. So then he can work full day in some type of organization and then just start studies later. But yes, there are lots of different jobs that they can choose from. In bachelor degree programs, students choose just, simple work, simple jobs like food delivery, stuff like that. We have lots of that. So it's not a hard thing to get a job in Lithuania.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.